Have you ever stood at the edge of your life with nowhere to go and everything chasing you down? When you are desperately in need of a solution, but you can't seem to find help anywhere. When fear is behind you and the future looks impossible, what do you do? This is what I call your redsea moment. But there are two things the Israelites didn't do in that particular story in the Bible. First, they didn't swim through the sea. This means that they didn't rely on their own ability to survive. They didn't trust their strength to carry them all the way through the sea. But what could this mean for you? Right now, you are tempted to feel like it's all on you. Like if you don't figure this out fast, you will drown under the pressure. Maybe you are really down in debt. You are experiencing financial fear and emotional exhaustion. You are filled with anxiety. You constantly ask yourself, how will I get out of this situation? But God doesn't need you to swim through this. He's not asking you to hustle harder to force a miracle, to borrow more to escape borrowing, to solve every piece of the puzzle by yourself. Swimming would be you depending fully on your own logic, talents, or grind to escape. But instead, God is inviting you to stand still and trust His movement, not yours. If you swim, you might drift. But if you stand where He tells you to, the path will open. Psalm 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." So let your anxious energy shift into expectancy, not panic. You are not falling behind because you can't fix this right now. Rather, you are being invited to let God take over. Now, here's the second thing the Israelites didn't do. They didn't fight Pharaoh. The Israelites didn't go back to fight their enemy. So what does this mean for you? Pharaoh represents your past decisions, debts, shame, fear, and people who are trying to control or intimidate you, who want you to remain in bondage. The Israelites could have turned around to try to negotiate or fight back, but God didn't ask them to do that. So, my dear, you don't need to argue with loan sharks, fight for your name, or prove your worth to people who rejected you in a desperate situation like yours. That battle is not yours to fight, but God's. Remember, Moses told the Israelites in Exodus 14:14, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still." This isn't a call to remain passive or to be idle. No. Instead, it's a call to trust divine vengeance and justice, not your own strength. So don't waste your energy on those who threaten you just because you are vulnerable. God sees it all, and He will deal with them. Sometimes God leads us into impossible situations, not to destroy us, but to reveal Himself powerfully, unmistakably, and mercifully. It was at the Red Sea moment that God did the impossible. He parted the sea, and the Israelites walked through on what looked impossible, but they did so on dry ground. So what am I actually saying right now? God parted the sea not before they moved, but as they obeyed, as they stood still, as they trusted Him. Now this is where it gets powerful. Your obedience will open the way. Right now, it feels like there is no way out. You are in danger emotionally, mentally, or psychologically. You feel alone, anxious, drained, depressed, desperate. You feel scattered and shattered. But just like with the Red Sea, God doesn't need a logical path. He instead created one that was humanly unthinkable to imagine. Right now, you are being called to walk by faith, not by sight. So what does walking through the impossible look like in your situation? It means waking up each day, choosing to believe even when nothing is visible. It means choosing peace when your life seems out of place. It means choosing prayer and planning when your heart wants to give up. Your Red Sea moments may not come with chariots or waves as it did with the Israelites. It might be bills you can't pay, a sickness you didn't expect, a heartbreak that left you breathless, or a dream you feel too broken to chase again. But just like the Israelites, you are not forgotten. God sees, God hears, and when you cry out, He will definitely respond. He may not take you around the sea, He might definitely take you through it, so that when you come out on the other side, you will know it was never by your strength, but it was Him all along. That is why at every Mass, we remember a greater deliverance, the cross. There, Jesus parted the waters of sin and death. There, He made a way through suffering. This is why we don't give up as Catholics, as Christians. Because if the Red Sea parted once, it can part again. And that same God is not finished yet. So if you are standing at the edge, remember, it's not the end. It might just be the very beginning of your miracle. So be still and let God fight for you.